Well, Gaffer, good start to pre-season in terms of the friendlies, a 2-0 win over St Mirren. Were you pleased with what you saw?
I was very pleased. Lots of good things in it. Lots of things that we'll take out of it in terms of showing the players the video stuff, as we always do, the good and the bad. But really, as a game as a whole, all the lads got 45 minutes. Fitness levels were good, no injuries, good win, 2-0, clean sheet against a good team. And look at the games we've got. It's probably going to be one of the toughest we'll have, and to have it as the first one made it doubly difficult because they're a good team, St Mirren, good footballing team. So a lot of the stuff we had to do in terms of shape and things we'd worked on was good. So I was pleased. Yeah,
it was competitive as well, which is again is what you want from a friendly. You don't want it to be at a one-pace tempo.
Yeah, I did touch on that before the game with the lads. Said, look, there generally is there's generally an edge between maybe a Scottish team and an English team. Nothing like when you play against foreign teams that can get very lively, as we've seen before. But no, it was a good competitive game, and we got a lot out of it.
Two of the young pros obviously playing. Carl played second half, Harrison played at left back in the first half. They acquitted themselves well as well.
Very well. Both did great. Both good players. H playing at left back, it's not his natural position, but to get him the 45 minutes we needed to, we had to juggle things around a little bit. So probably the next game at Stamford we'd probably look to play him in a different position. He's better further forward, but he's lovely left foot, great balance. He's got a lot of potential. I thought Carl did really, really well. Again, he was aggressive, and both on and off the ball, did very, very well. I was pleased with him. So yeah, we've got two good young players in there. We've got a lot of good young players, though, to be fair. A lot of good young players.
Yeah, I mean, Carl's obviously benefited, from coming through the academy, but also Simon Davies as a midfielder. You would have learned a lot from him. Obviously, yourself and Gavin also played that position too. Do you think that'll help him as a young player? Because obviously you can look up to someone who's played in that position.
Yeah, I hope so. There's a lot of, like you mentioned the names there, including myself, obviously playing in midfield, Gab, Simon. So a lot of people that can pass on the experience that they've had in that position. And that's vital to them. But no, he's definitely improved. Certainly in the time I've been back, he's gradually getting better. He's come back a little bit stronger physically, which you can sometimes get over the close season. But no, he did very, very well last night. I was delighted with him.
You can view pre-season in many different ways, but whenever you view it, it's nice to see your strikers scoring goals, and particularly Mo, obviously, to get his first game.
Yeah, and you're trying to build up partnerships and look at different things and different permutations. I don't think anyone should look into the teams last night with too much detail in terms of it was just a case of getting the players the 45 minutes each. But yeah, Mo and Ivan scoring, goal scorers, that's what they want to do, and they build the confidence from that. So they'll both be delighted that they got off the mark. They look lively, and Mo gives us, as you've seen, that injection of pace, and in terms of when perhaps we're defending, he gets us up the pitch very, very quickly, and they both looked a handful.
Yeah, many supporters won't know too much about Idris Kanu because obviously he came in and then immediately went out on loan. He obviously got game time at Port Vale and Boreham Wood, but they probably won't have seen him play in a position that he played last night, which is obviously as a wide right. Where did you see his performance last night? Things to improve on, but also a lot of positives to take.
Yeah, Idris needs a lot of coaching, and we know he can play in it, probably quite a few positions in the forward line. Obviously he played wide last night. He needs to work on how he receives the ball as opposed to on the side of people, and in terms of finding space, but that's something that we'll work away with him. He's had a very good pre-season, I have to say. He looks strong, he looks fit. He's definitely lost a little bit of weight from when he came back, at the tail end of last season. Obviously he was out on loan, but he came back the last week with us when his season was finished there. And I thought at the time he needs to be a lot fitter, and he's come back and he looks really fit, powerful, can run, as the second goal showed, but needs a lot of coaching and needs a lot of work, which we're obviously prepared to give him. But a player I really like because he's quick and dynamic. Technically he can improve, but yeah, he's had a really, really good pre-season. I've been delighted with Idris.
As the chairman said, Marcus not with us this week. He's obviously had a procedure that's been done back in England, but you spoke to him obviously and you've seen what physical condition he's in. He's done a lot of work during the summer. Yeah,
Marcus has had this procedure done, and so he's obviously back with us around about the 15th, I think, in about 9-10 days time. He's missed a bit of it, but we don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. He did a lot of work before he had the procedure done, and we had a good chat about it when I seen him. It's the fittest I've ever seen the boy. He looked so healthy and he looked well, and I was delighted with the shape he was in. So yeah, we'll build him up gradually, but we fully expect him to be ready for the start of the season.
Yeah. Obviously 2 friendlies this week back in England, one on Wednesday on your doorstep in Stamford, and then obviously on Saturday at Kettering. Is it a similar vein, 45 in both of those, or will you look to tweak it slightly?
We will sit down and discuss it after the Stamford. Stamford will definitely be 45 each, and like I say, I'll probably look at different permutations in terms of how we do things. Formation wise, it'll be the same as it was last night, and then we'll have a look at the data and stuff, and we'll decide what we're going to do for the game on the Saturday. We'll try to do it in sort of 2 game blocks, if you know what I mean, probably with formations and times as well. But we've got a lot of games. We've added a couple of extra games this season for that reason, so there's no problem with the lads getting enough game time. That'll definitely be the case. And the main thing's always about the injuries. You know, Mo and I even felt a little bit before the game, but absolutely fine to play it, no issues after. The players were in the gym this morning and then in the pool. They'll have a little bit of downtime today, and then tomorrow, I think we're doing 3 sessions tomorrow before we fly back on Tuesday.
Up and down the country, there's so many pre-season games going, and there's a bloke called Trialist playing in quite a lot of them. Have you looked at anybody potentially to come in to have a look at on a sort of that kind of basis, someone over a couple of days maybe, or are you firm in your mind you've got the groundings of a really good squad here with 1 or 2 additions you could possibly make?
You know, I have been open to it, but I feel with the numbers we've got, they're good. We've also got 1 or 2 younger ones that we can add to the squads, like young Ricky and people like that. Probably will be added to the squad for Wednesday, just in case, because obviously last night 11 plays, and then if there's an injury or a knock in the second half, one of those would have to come on, which is never ideal. So now, when we're back in the country, we'll probably add 1 or 2 of the younger ones to just take with us. 1 for the experience, and 2 that may be needed. But no, I don't feel the need to add any trials. The simple fact of that is we've done our recruitment very well and very early. I've been delighted with that. We had a good meeting with the chairman and the owners, and Bob and Barry. I had a good meeting yesterday, so we're on line to where we want to be. We do want 1 or 2, definitely 1 more in, but we're going to make sure if we can it's the right one, as opposed to panicking and trying to get ones that are not any better than what we've got, or certainly to that level. So yeah, we've been competitive, and very competitive in terms of the recruitment drive, and we've done it early, so we're in a good place, and the lads are looking good, and obviously more games they get, the better they'll understand how we want to play, and also the fitness levels will get up.
Just finally, they've got a few questions on social media, because obviously the games are starting to take place now. Have you got in your mind about a skipper for the coming season? Is that something you're going to look at over pre-season before you finalise your decision? Yeah,
I'll probably make that decision fairly soon. But I feel that what we do need is leaders throughout the squad, regardless of what age they are or what experiences they've had. Obviously Woody was the captain last year, and Woody's a good talker. Beeves coming in as a natural captain, so I'll sit down and have a think about it and have a chat with some of them. But it'll be a nucleus of 4 or 5 players that I generally feel that should be able to control the dressing room and things like that. And I've always done it that way. But yeah, there's ones that certainly is more natural for them to talk, but it's a dying breed of a player that is a real talker and organiser. For example, young Frankie, very good organiser, very, very good talker. You can see why he's been a captain. There's another example of another one. So the ones we recruited, we feel that they seem to have that organisational skill about them.